Chinese New Year. So basically what happens is every year factory workers in China get time to spend with family. They work very long and very hard hours in the factories. As you guys know, there's even some factories that are more like sweatshop style factories out there because of how crazy the work environments are. And obviously China's a different culture, and I'm not suggesting that you should be a fan of that hardworking culture. But regardless of if it's a very high quality factory where people are treated amazingly well or they're not, you know, China's filled with amazing factories everywhere. That's how the production of almost everything is done. I mean, if you look at almost every product in the United States, go look, it's made in China because they have cheaper labor. But one of the things they have to do is they have to give, you know, because of the, you know, cheaper labor, cheaper products, they need time off. So what they do is they do this long, they take an extended time off in the first, you know, let me actually give you the dates in a second. They take an extended time off during, in the middle of Q1 every year. Okay, so let me just keep going then. Okay, during this time, you will have issues with getting orders fulfilled. Okay, so my advice is to pause drop shipping orders during this time frame. Focus on print on demand orders. Okay, focus on bulk purchasing and shipping yourself. Focus on other wholesalers and drop shippers not in China. Okay, and then on top of that, focus on building an email list during this time to sell when it's over. These are just a few examples of things to focus on. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. It's just once a year. Okay, a lot of us take, you know, the Christmas holidays off, you know, and we don't do a lot during that time. It's hard to get us to do stuff too. It's the same kind of thing. Okay, so what you could do is you could do some research. Okay, so you know, you could do Chinese New Year's. Okay, so you could do Chinese New Year 2017. This will give you general information. Okay, the Chinese New Year will give you general. This is not necessarily going to be how it's going to affect manufacturers and how it's going to affect people working in factories, but this will give you general information, so it's worth at least looking up. And then you could type in words like Shopify. That'll give you some more stuff on how it affects Shopify. So you can go through and start reading these. Sorry, that's a product. I don't know what I just clicked on. But you can go through and you can start, not Shopify apps, but you can go through and you can see basically exactly what other people are saying about the Chinese New Year. Okay, so you can really kind of go in here and you can start to learn what it means. You know, you can start to learn, like, what is the Chinese New Year? What are the dates, Chinese New Year's? And then you can also learn how it affects factories and stuff like that. You can type in search like this: how does Chinese New Year's affect shipping? You know, you can do stuff like that, straightforward explanation. You know, you can go to these sites and you can go in and you can learn what dates to be able to block out, you know, and how to be able to do it. So it kind of goes through and it teaches a lot of this stuff, right? So this is your, you know, this will explain it all, okay? So you plan ahead for this, okay? So it's not that big of a deal, okay? How it affects importers. You can go to this article, you can kind of read, and you're looking to kind of like just see, do a little bit of research. It's not much, but there's going to be some dates. We're gonna do more of a big training on this to kind of get people to go. But this is important to know, you know, they halt production for about 2 weeks after the Chinese New Year's Eve. Okay, so even though it's only lasting for about 5 work days, okay, plus 2 weekends, so you know, even though the work days are only really affected, people take it for an extra week or 2. Okay, this explains why most suppliers are not back in business until 2, sometimes even 3 weeks after the Chinese New Year's Eve. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to basically look at your calendars, right? Okay, you can do Chinese New Year's Eve, and it's going to be different every single year. Okay, so you're going to kind of go Chinese New Year's Eve, and then you can do 2017 because it's going to be different every single year. Okay, And this will kind of break it down, right? So Friday, so that whole weekend, basically, you kind of schedule out the calendar where you're blocking it out for all those dates, So you're kind of starting here from this date, and you're blocking out 2 to 3 weeks after that. Okay, so it's you got to get used to this. It happens once a year, and what happens is you'll notice sales slow unless you have alternative drop shipping sources. But then it picks back up like crazy afterwards, and all that happens is the shipping and fulfillment completes. And so you want to be careful. You don't want to sell products that you can't get delivered during those time frames. So you have to part of the thing of getting it all cheap is to understand this. So you do a little bit of research. That is something that we should all have on our agendas, and I've given you several ways to be able to overcome it, to be able to learn a little bit more about it. So there you go. We covered a lot. Again, let's go to Ecom Tutor. This site right here, ecomtutor.com. If you just go to Ecom Tutor, I have it forwarding right now, but ecomtutor.com is just a temporary place for some free training for you guys. Last week's webinar replays are here, and you guys can watch all those, and then I'm going to add in the ones from today. If you're not a Techademics member, you should join. If you're not a Shopify site, you should join here. Or if you're looking to set up a second or a third site, make sure to use your 30-day trial here. Watch some extra videos. We'll put even more there. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then I'm going to take some questions and answers from people for a few minutes, and I'm going to call it a day. So it's been fun hanging out with you guys.